With Tailwind, we do not directly control CSS properties. We use utility classes. Usually, one utility class contains one or two CSS properties, setting a unique piece of element style. For example, font bold only sets the font weight property. Font size, however, controls two properties. Apart from setting a font size, it also sets a matching line height. Most of the time, existing Tailwind classes are more than enough to meet our demand, but there are always exceptions. Let's use the font size utility as an example. In total, this utility gives us 13 classes. The biggest one is 9XL, which sets a font size of 8 rem. What if we need a 10 rem font size? The simplest solution is to add a new class into the components layer. We will have full control over CSS property values. But adding lots of custom classes into the components layer makes the program maintenance very difficult, especially when you are working with other developers. Imagine having lots of custom classes in the components layer, and those classes are defined by different developers with different naming habits. The best solution is to add our own classes into existing utilities and follow the Tailwind's naming habits. For example, we name the new class Text10XL. Our new class will be listed behind native ones. Other developers can instantly understand it. This is particularly important if you are working with others. So how do we add our own classes into an existing utility? We go back to the Tailwind config file. The theme option is where we customize utilities. We can add new classes and reset existing ones. Resetting built-in classes is allowed but not recommended. The root level of the theme object is where we completely reset a utility. All existing classes will be replaced. If you just want to add new classes into a utility, then you should put your codes in the extend object. We extend the font size utility by assigning an object to it. Do not use the full class name here. Just use the second part. 10XL is not a legal property name, so we wrap it in quotes. Font size utility classes set two CSS properties, so we need an array here. The first element will be used as the font size, and the second one the line height. Do not get the order wrong. We can see the new class has taken effect. Sometimes, when creating your own classes, you may need values from another Tailwind class. Let's use the line height utility as an example. We want to set a new line height based on the font size class we just created. We set the line height property using the function syntax. The theme function will be passed to the function as a callback. It gives us access to other Tailwind utilities. We return an object in the function. New classes are declared in the returned object. Here we name the new class 10XL as well. We set its value using the theme function, which gives us access to other utilities. We specify the utility name and the second part of the class name. Do not use the full class name here. The 10XL class sets two CSS properties. We only need the first one. We connect the index using a dot. Do not use the square brackets here. Now we have created a new line height class. It sets a line height of 10 rem. 10 rem comes from the new font size class we just created. Let's try the new line height class. We apply it to the H1 tag. We can see the new class has been added to the suggestion list. It sets a line height of 10 rem. The index is very important. Make sure you select the right property. If you miss the index, you will have the same result as selecting the last element. But if you check the line height class, you will find that it sets two line heights. The second one overrides the first one. Next, let's talk about colors. Tailwind manages colors using the Colors utility. All color-related settings are controlled by this utility, including text color, background color, border color, etc. Tailwind has a rich built-in color palette, but to limit the file size, not all built-in colors are enabled by default. To access built-in colors, we first import the colors object from the Tailwind package. We do not want to replace existing colors, so we declare new color classes in the extend object. We enable three built-in colors: cyan, sky, and rose. We access them from the colors object. We can rename these new colors, but it is best to use original Tailwind names. You can also create new color classes using color codes. Here we create two new colors using the two green colors from the View logo. Now our Tailwind project has received 5 new color classes, including 3 color families from Tailwind and 2 colors set by us. Let's try them. We reset the container div's default background color using the 3 new color families. We can see they have been added into the suggestion list. We can access them by submitting their initial letter. Next, let's try the 2 new colors created by us. We apply them to the H1 tag. We set the text color using them. We can see our own color has been applied successfully. It has also automatically received the Tailwind opacity variable. We can adjust the color opacity.